lab testing, and it's easily spread.
So it moves between person to person through contact, like you're saying, touch, but also through the intermediate sort of space of that's surrounding them. So you may not touch the patient, but you touch the space.
The good news is no deaths have been reported so far here in Washington. In Seattle, Bridget Chavez, KIRO 7 News.
If your kid is headed to college, it may be another few months before you know how much next year's tuition will cost. The rough rollout of a new FAFSA form has delayed when the government can get those forms to colleges. The federal government says data from the free application for federal student aid won't get to colleges until March due to tech errors. For reference, it's normally out in November, so schools have time to make aid packages. Starting Monday, speeding through school zones in Edmonds will cost you $130. It follows a grace period where drivers got warnings. Now the new system will soon mean fines. Just since the start of the year, the Everett Herald reports over 1,000 school zone warnings issued. A heads up, if you are headed that way, the speed limit is just 20 miles per hour during targeted school hours, and those signs will have flashing lights. Tax season is here. We have some tips on how you can maximize your tax return coming up. And mark your calendars. The 2026 World Cup is set, with Seattle hosting a leg when hundreds of thousands are expected to come to the Emerald City next.
And we are taking a look right now outside. Gorgeous views. Blue skies, sunshine. What more could you ask for between Seattle and the South Sound? More details on what you can expect, though, for the rest of the week coming up in my full forecast.
Enter a secluded mansion filled with colorful characters, each with their own secrets and motives. When a storm traps them inside, a series of mysterious deaths unfolds, leaving everyone a suspect. The Fifth Avenue Theater presents Something's Afoot, the Agatha Christie musical mystery spoof. Get your tickets now and laugh till it hurts in this thrilling musical whodunit. Don't miss Something's Afoot at the Fifth Avenue Theater. Tickets at fifthavenue.org.
Go beast mode on your plumbing problems.
Here's the problem right here. What's next?
I think we're gonna have to take the whole toilet out.
Got it. What's next? You all good here?
So go beast mode and
Hey, wait. Stop freaking. Call Beacon.
My name is Miranda Beckner, and I'm a Pima Medical student. I have always had the support from Pima Medical. Now I'm way more confident. They care about my success. I want my kids to know that anything in life is possible. I'm going to school to provide something better for them. I feel like I have the world in the palm of my hands.
Learn hands-on medical skills and life skills to start your healthcare career with confidence.
You can do this too. Start now at pmi.edu.
The baked potato. How can something so simple be so delicious and packed with potassium and B6 and vitamin C and pure awesomeness? How does a simple potato do all that? Because it's an amazing plant grown by amazing farmers. Washington potato farmers are passionate about feeding the world, and they're really good at it. To learn more about how our potatoes feed the world, visit potatoes.com.
If someone's trying to take advantage of you or threaten your safety, my job is to stand up for you. I want to be out there helping you to find answers and connect the dots so you know exactly what's going on. You deserve to be heard, and there are serious problems that need to be investigated. I'm going to make that happen. That is why I do this, and that's why KIRO 7 investigates.
Cars will break down, and when they do, it's too late. If your car is out of warranty, it leaves you with two choices: get stuck paying for expensive repairs, or one phone call to CarShield. Their administrators pay for your covered repairs so you don't have to. Your coverage includes roadside assistance, towing, rental, and so much more. Plus, with their nationwide network, you choose the mechanic or dealer. Best of all, there's coverage for every wallet size. Make the smart call before it's too late. Call CarShield today.
If you're working full-time, you could earn your degree online at South University. And classes are available at many South University campus locations as well as online. Call now to speak with an admissions rep.
Call 1-800-206-8133.
And nurse.
The 2026 World Cup schedule is out, and Seattle is hosting 4 games at Lumen Field in 2026 on June 15th, 19th, 24th, and 26th. And then a round 32 match will be on July 1st, followed by round 16 on July 6th. A big highlight, the U.S. men's team will be here on the 19th. For some in our community, news watching became more difficult when Univision ended its Seattle affiliation. It left the city and surrounding area without a Spanish-speaking local newscast. In this week's Western Washington Gets Real, KIRO 7's Gwen Baumgartner spoke with a fellow broadcaster working tirelessly to fill the language gap and keep the community informed.
For 17 years, journalist Jaime Mendez has been bringing Seattle the news in Spanish as a news anchor for Univision. But in December, his TV career came to a halt.
I learned that the Univision Seattle station was going to be ending its Spanish programming at the end of the year. I was surprised. I have to be honest, I was surprised.
It left Mendez without a job and our area without a consistent local Spanish news source. A loss that many don't realize the true scale of, says Mendez.
Latinos, from the moment we come here, we're already vulnerable to many things. You know, we don't speak the language most of the times. You know, we don't know the system. We're trying to learn the system. You know, we're in a few disadvantages, right? And not having proper information about what's going on in the area and the place you live, it makes you even more vulnerable.
With more than 1 million Latinos in our state, Mendez knew he couldn't sit back.
Muy buenas tardes.
So he created Se Habla Media, using his savings and skill set to launch an independent news station.
I came home and I told my wife, and we started laughing. And it was a nervous laugh at first, and then we're like, oh, wow, now what are we going to do?
Mendez, with his wife Deanna, spent 3 months turning their spare bedroom into a broadcast center. January 1st, they launched, producing a website, a podcast, and perhaps most importantly, a daily newscast, about 10 minutes in length and streamed online.
There were times that I couldn't sleep very well, thinking, are we going to be able to put out a good job? That was my biggest stress. And when the time came, we were ready because we had prepared we worked so hard. And we got surrounded by really capable people to help us put this together. That the first day, I was so happy I was like, oh, this is going to work.
His newscasts providing more than just crime and weather reports. In many cases, they incorporate resources that he feels Latinos need to know.
Opportunities, scholarship opportunities for your kids, health care, education, financial services, you know, so many things that people need and could take advantage, and they would not know otherwise.
Mendez calls his new job difficult but necessary, saying he has no plans of signing off.
I came up with the slogan at the end of the broadcast after 1 week of doing this thing, because I was answering to people and said, yeah, we can't let the news die. And so that I finish every newscast saying, que no mueran las noticias. Keep the news alive.
In Seattle, Gwen Baumgartner, KIRO 7 News.
For more stories like this, head to KIRO7.com/getsreal. Let's take a live look outside now at Seattle from the top of the Space Needle. And oh my gosh, Frankie, how about those gorgeous blue skies? It was such a nice day today. Still is.
Yeah,
still is.
It is still a gorgeous day outside. I'm bummed we're inside. I wish we could be live outside showing everybody what's going on. But you know what? Doesn't mean I can't show you some more views.
Look at that.
Right? Come on. I'm like, the sunshine's one thing, but us having some slightly delayed sunsets, I mean, it's just all kind of working together in a beautiful way. I mean, it's very premature. We are nowhere near summer, but this is giving some big time summer vibes. We're looking at Anacortes, Everett, Auburn, and Olympia. Good evening to all of you. Happy Sunday. Conditions are looking good, but not that all can be said about, or the same can't be said for what's happening down south. We've been talking to you about kind of the weather that's brewing behind the scenes, an atmospheric river event, and that low pressure system we tracked yesterday kind of working. So low pressure system tracked down from our area of the Pacific down south. And because of the counterclockwise motion and with the placement of this atmospheric river, we are seeing just an abundance of rain showers. We're seeing winter weather advisories for elevations that are kind of within the means to be seeing some snow, and we are also seeing some very heavy gusty winds, upwards to about 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts through Northern California, 40-mile-per-hour sustained winds. Southern California, we're dealing with some high surf advisories, and again, flood concerns are just really increased at this time. I know that there's been mention of in Los Angeles, the mayor there telling everyone today to get home and kind of brace for some of the heavier rains. Now, we went ahead and we future tracked some of the rain for Southern California, and we'll compare and contrast what it's going to shake out to be compared to what we expect to see. Now, for Southern California area, places around Bakersfield down to about Oceanside, California, could be seeing anywhere from almost an inch to some places 6 inches of rain. Los Angeles sitting at about 5, almost and a half or 5 inches of rain. Looking at the future track for what we can expect to see between now and heading into our Tuesday, nowhere near the same, not even the same ballpark. It's apples and oranges. We're looking at about a few hundredths of an inch between the same time period. Some of this rain that we are going to be getting and some of the light mountain snow is going to be really the remnants of what's getting kicked up from the south. So we're kind of just getting a little bit of the back splash, if you will. This is a look at how it plays out for us. So we have a little bit of that activity creeping up heading into our Monday morning. We'll see some light snow showers for elevations above about 2,500 feet. Very, very light rain showers for us through Tuesday. Taking a look at the pinpoint 7-day forecast. In addition to having some rain in the forecast, we do have some ample sun kind of mixed in between. Temperatures stay right in their average for where they should be, and looking like a pretty perfect day as we head into Super Bowl Sunday a week from today, with highs teeter-tottering at the edge at 50 degrees.
All right, thanks, Frankie. And coming up, as Frankie mentioned, Southern California is being hit by that atmospheric river. The damage so far and what's on deck for the entire state. Plus, destruction in Chile. How many acres have burned in historic wildfires overnight? But first, check your fridge. A meat recall in Washington will tell you what you need to throw out immediately.
Enter a secluded mansion filled with colorful characters, each with their own secrets and motives. When a storm traps them inside, a series of mysterious deaths unfolds, leaving everyone a suspect. The Fifth Avenue Theater presents Something's Afoot, the Agatha Christie musical mystery spoof. Get your tickets now and laugh till it hurts in this thrilling musical whodunit. Don't miss Something's Afoot at the Fifth Avenue Theater. Tickets at fifthavenue.org.
My name is Erica Olivares. I feel really honored to be a Pima Medical student. Pima Medical to me is not just a school, it's a family, it's a forever connection. I definitely doubted myself, but I've gained a lot of confidence here. I feel like we are the best of the best.
Learn hands-on medical skills and life skills to start your healthcare career with confidence.
You can do this too. Start now at pmi.edu.
Did you know Washington grows more potatoes per acre than anywhere in the world?
Did you know potatoes have more potassium than a banana?
Did you know 70% of Washington's potatoes feed people outside the U.S.? Did you know that nobody grows potatoes better than Washington farmers?
Well, now you do.
To learn more about how our Washington potatoes feed the world, visit potatoes.com.
Every day I open my emails from people who are getting ripped off. The one thing I do not like are scammers. The one thing I love to do is busting them. Everyone needs someone who has their back. That's why I do this, and that's why Kiro 7 investigates.
Cars will break down, and when they do, it's too late. If your car's out of warranty, it leaves you with two choices. Get stuck paying for expensive repairs, or one phone call to CarShield. Their administrators pay for your covered repairs so you don't have to. Your coverage includes roadside assistance, towing, rental, and so much more. Plus, with their nationwide network, you choose the mechanic or dealer. Best of all, there's coverage for every wallet size. Make the smart call before it's too late. Call CarShield today.
If you're working full-time, you could earn your degree online at South University. And classes are available at many South University campus locations as well as online. Call now to speak with an admissions rep.
Call 1-800-206-8133.
And nurses, you could earn your RN to BSN degree online at South University. Whether you're looking to earn your associate degree in medical assisting or your RN to BSN degree, you can do it at South University.
Call 1-800-206-8133. 1-800-206-8133. If you're on supplemental oxygen, heavy and awkward tanks are a burden. Now you can leave home and leave the tanks behind with Inogen One, the portable oxygen concentrator you can take almost anywhere.
Just press the button here, and there's
Hormel Foods is recalling over 900 pounds of ready-to-eat spiced deli ham products because of misbranding. They didn't declare it could contain milk. Thankfully, nobody has reported an allergic reaction yet. You're asked to toss out that ham or return it to wherever you got it. Whether you like it or not, tax season is here, and some people are already banking on big refunds that could come their way. Kiro 7's Ranji Sinha is taking a look at tax write-offs you may have not realized that you qualify for.
The old saying is death and taxes are certainties in life, but so is the prospect for some of getting a big tax refund. Tax write-offs should not be overlooked since they could have an impact, a big impact, on how much money people get back.
And I'll simply say the write-off that you forget is the most important write-off. Now,
Mark Staber says rushing through your taxes may bring peace of mind that the process is over, but it also carries the risk of forgetting a lucrative write-off. So his advice is slow down and take stock. Earned income tax credits, Staber estimates 1 in 5 taxpayers forget it each year. That credit can go up to $6,400 if you get the maximum. Leave off deductions for people that are self-employed or small businesses. That's another one. Home offices can be a write-off most don't think of, even in the era when many people have significant amounts of time working from home. Shared custody issues can make situations where people forget to file for those write-off options. Staber says one of the biggest misconceptions is people believing the IRS will notice that they did qualify for a write-off and fix it for them, which couldn't be further from the truth.
if you leave off a benefit, if you leave off a credit, the IRS does not go back and review it and then send you more money. Leave it off, stays off.
Staber also suggests taxpayers go to whoever they're working with on their taxes and do a review outside of tax season to see what write-offs could be found for the next tax cycle. Ranji Sinha, Kiro 7 News.
A Seattle staple celebrates 4 decades. Azel's on the corner of 23rd Avenue and Jefferson opened for the first time in 1984. Since then, it has opened several locations across the community. And to celebrate, every time a customer orders, they'll be asked to donate 40 cents to the Hazel Danielle Clayton Foundation this month. It supports local youth programs focused on economics and education. Still ahead, a dog napper caught. The lengths one woman went to get back her pet and the charges someone is now facing for stealing it. But first, a torrential downpour. The first sight of destruction in Southern California as an atmospheric river hits.
Enter a secluded mansion filled with colorful characters, each with their own secrets and motives. When a storm traps them inside, a series of mysterious deaths unfolds, leaving everyone a suspect. The Fifth Avenue Theater presents Something's Afoot, the Agatha Christie musical mystery spoof. Get your tickets now and laugh till it hurts in this thrilling musical whodunit. Don't miss Something's Afoot at the Fifth Avenue Theater. Tickets at fifthavenue.org.
There was a void when I left the military of having that bond. Being at Pima Medical Institute now, I feel like I have that again in my life.
Learn hands-on medical skills and life skills to start your healthcare career with confidence.
You can do this too. Start now at pmi.edu.
I was getting tired of waiting tables. I recently immigrated to America. I feel like Pima gives students great support.
The people here work hard to make sure that our goals and dreams are realized.
We get to do injections on each other.
Anatomy and physiology.
It's very fun.
Whatever I learn from Pima, I can take it in every department in the hospital.
You are doing what you're going to be doing outside school.
It's hands-on experience at its best.
Did you know potatoes have more potassium than a banana?
Did you know that nobody grows potatoes better than Washington farmers?
Well, now you do.
To learn more about how our Washington potatoes feed the world, visit potatoes.com.
Day-to-day life is a challenge on its own. Money, health, family, safety, there's a lot coming at you. I want to find answers and dig up information that can make a real difference for you and your family. If we can be a voice to somebody, be guidance to somebody, we're here. The mission is to help people. So if I can make life better in any kind of way, I've done my job. That's why I do this. That's why Kiro 7 investigates.
Cars will break down, And when they do, it's too late. If your car is out of warranty, it leaves you with two choices. Get stuck paying for expensive repairs, or one phone call to CarShield. Their administrators pay for your covered repairs so you don't have to. Your coverage includes roadside assistance, towing, rental, and so much more. Plus, with their nationwide network, you choose the mechanic or dealer. Best of all, there's coverage for every wallet size. Make the smart call before it's too late. Call CarShield today.
If you're working full-time, you could earn your degree online at South University. And classes are available at many South University campus locations as well as online. Call now to speak with an admissions rep.
Call 1-800-206-8133.
And nurses, you could earn your RN to BSN degree online at South University. Whether you're looking to earn your associate degree in medical assisting or your RN to BSN degree, you can do it at South University.
Call 1-800-206-8133. 1-800-206-8133.
Kiro 7 News, live at 4.
Tonight, devastation in California. A massive atmospheric river hitting the south end of the state, and it is just beginning. This is a live look at Santa Monica Pier, and you can see skies are gray. And just a couple of seconds ago, we saw very choppy waves out there. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I'm Dee Dee Sun. This atmospheric river is packing a punch, and the damage already starting. Trees already falling from strong winds and rain. Snow is piling up in the Sierras, a projected 1 to 3 feet possible near Lake Tahoe. The shore seeing major waves down south. Now, this is a sailboat that washed up on a beach in Santa Barbara. Most beaches are closed right now. California Governor Gavin Newsom on standby at the state's operations center, helping coordinate where aid will have to go. And California has a record 8,500 state-coordinated emergency responders on standby for these storms. They are preparing for the worst. In Seattle, a much different story. Clearer skies, but we feel any impacts of that atmospheric river. Will we, Frankie? I know you're tracking this.
Oh, very lightly, and just, I mean, in comparison to what's happening down south, it's just going to be a mere splash, if you will. We're just going to get a little bit of a mist over the next 24 to 48 hours. Now,
it's almost like role reversal with the sunshine that we're getting.
Absolutely. It feels a little criminal that this is happening. We're getting the sunshine and Southern California is not. This is a look right now. So from Santa Monica, I'm pulling you down to San Diego. This is a view from the Hotel Del in Coronado, California, again, San Diego area. This camera has been very active since I pulled it up because it's doing surveillance. We've been seeing some trees that have been slightly bent back, these palm trees, from the 20-mile-per-hour sustained wind speeds that are moving through. And we've also been seeing folks out there who are trying to maybe get their towels. The towels are blowing out of control. You're probably thinking, well, why do we care about this? This is Southern California. We're in Washington. Well, this is kind of how this all played out. So we talked yesterday about a low pressure event that was sitting just adjacent to our shore water, so sitting over the Pacific. And over the yesterday to about today, we saw that low pressure system continued to sink further south. Low pressure systems move in a counterclockwise motion. So as we continue to see a lot of this atmospheric river event coming, the Pineapple Express coming out of Hawaii, we'll see that because of the positioning of this low pressure system, it's really just keeping this heavier rain, some of the snow events and wind just consolidated into that Southern California region, an area that it doesn't do well with absorbing all of that moisture. Now, that's what's going on there. Lots of concerns, but how does that affect us? I'll have a little bit more context for some of the spritzes we can see our way coming up in my full forecast.
All right. Thanks, Frankie.
What's his name? I don't know.
New video takes us inside the ambulance as first responders get their first look at a woman who fought to escape her kidnapper last November. The woman you are looking at now ran a quarter-mile barefoot to a neighbor's house, begging for help after being beaten with what investigators believe to be a chair leg. To this date, police don't know why or how she got to that alleged kidnapper. He has been identified as 75-year-old David Ruffier. His body was found after he shot himself.
I came here from my death house, and now with amnesty coming in, you know, many of us here are just saying, you know, maybe we can't stay.
Families in Tacoma are pushing back against plans for an old Tacoma church. The owners are trying to convert this historic building into affordable housing. KIRO 7's Louis Tran shares how neighbors are worried how that new housing development will impact the neighborhood.
That's correct. This church is at the center of this neighborhood. The owners of this property tell me that they plan to have around 40 to 50 tenants inside this building. Now for the neighbors, Several tell me that they are worried about traffic, limited parking spaces, and now the safety of the kids.
I have a feeling it's just going to bring some chaos to the neighborhood that just never existed.
Tyler Colbo is concerned about his Tacoma neighborhood, as the future of this historic church could be changing.
This idea is blossoming around the country.
Andrew Kane, the co-owner of this property, says that they're trying to convert this historic building into affordable housing. They're targeting young adults from the ages of 18 to 26 years old, supporting them as the cost of living is high.
This is about just giving to those young adults who have dreams and visions and supporting them and going after.
He says that this building will have around 11 shared rooms with around 40 to 50 tenants. He tells me that all of them will take part in a mentorship program, and drinks and drugs are not allowed inside the building. But Colbo says this will only make the neighborhood worse.
They're going to find places within the community to do what they're going to naturally do anyway as kids. They're going to seek fun, they're going to seek their vices, and they'll end up being in lawn chairs in our front yard smoking and drinking.
And for Sharon Hinchcliffe,
there has to be 100% guarantee to protect the children in this neighborhood.
She and other neighbors want families to be protected.
People have invested a lot of money and their time into these properties, and a property like this is certainly going to be bringing the property values down, which is huge for everybody.
The owners tell me that they plan to open this affordable housing unit roughly in about 2 years. But first, they need a conditional use permit to be processed first. In Tacoma, I'm Louis Tran, Cairo 7 News.
Crews are repairing concrete panels in South Seattle as a part of Revive I-5 today. 2 lanes closed at Boeing Access Road to State Route 900 MLK Way this weekend. And let's take a live look at that work happening right now. This is Benefit Street on I-5. You can see very slow going on those southbound lanes because of those repairs. All lanes reopen Monday at 4 a.m. A heads up for commuters between King and Snohomish counties. A big change is coming, and it might give you sticker shock. State transportation officials voted to approve $15 tolls on 2 major thoroughfares. It'll bump up the cost, which is currently $10 on I-405, and it'll go from $9 to $15 during peak hours on State Route 167. The change will affect drivers taking express and HOV lanes from Linwood down to Auburn. The question now is, how often will you have to pay this? Well, Cairo 7's Bridget Chavez spoke with drivers along I-405 who say they feel like they're being priced out of those lanes.
Yeah, that's a lot. It's impactful. I'm not really a big fan.
Eric Hallgren uses these lanes every day, but now that the Washington State Transportation Commission voted to increase the rates by about 50%, he may reevaluate.
I'll just have to see what the bill looks like at the end of the month. I would say probably at least the first month I'll have to take a look, and then we'll go from there.
The increases impact I-405 and State Route 167. The commission voted to increase the minimum toll rate to $1 and the maximum toll rate to $15.
I mean, I don't think it's fair because, you know, a lot of people, we go through a lot of hard time right now, and I mean, it is a lot. I'm not happy about it, but like I say, it's nothing I can do.
Evening tolling and peak hour HOV policies will also be extended to 8 p.m. All of these changes go into effect March 1st. The commission says the increases will improve traffic efficiency and the funds will go back to the corridor.
That includes operations and maintenance for the facility and for the tolling, as well as for new projects. So that are part of the master plan, part of the plan for developing this corridor.
And that was Bridget Chavez reporting. A heads up, if you take transit in Pierce County, your fare is free today. The county is commemorating Transit Equity Day, marking the birthday of civil rights icon Rosa Parks. Still ahead, how much money do you have saved away? We spoke with financial experts to see if your rainy day fund is where it needs to be. And beating the winter blues, who is most at risk for seasonal affective disorder, and recommendations to beat those blues. But first, a state of emergency. A first look at some of the devastation in Chile, where the firefight stands next.
Some Olympia legislators want a new tax, a real estate sales tax. It'll hit small businesses, apartment buildings, senior housing, most construction. The cost will be passed to renters, seniors, small businesses, and their customers. Then, they can expand the new tax to hit family housing even more. Who will pay? I will.
I will.
I will.
I will.
I will. I will. I will.
I will.
Magical moments. Snowy adventures. Warming up. Making memories. A winter wonderland. The perfect close-by getaway this winter is Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Find countless ways to play and plan your escape at cdawinter.com.
And this gentleman here is Walter Zaney.
So he started Greenwood?
Back in 1918.
Wait, you're named after the founder.
Sitting next to him is my great-great-great-grandpup, Baxter.
No way. Is that a Lennox Torrid's own furnace?
Proudly installed by Greenwood, of course.
Man, a lot sure has changed over the years.
With technology, sure, but we've never strayed from our commitment to providing you with a more comfortable home.
I feel like Pima gives students great support.
The people here work hard to make sure that our goals and dreams are realized.
We get to do injections on each other.
Anatomy and physiology. It's hands-on experience at its best.
Cars will break down, and when they do, it's too late. If your car's out of warranty, it leaves you with two choices: get stuck paying for expensive repairs, or one phone call to CarShield. Their administrators pay for your covered repairs so you don't have to. Your coverage includes roadside assistance, towing, rental, and so much more. Plus, with their nationwide network, you choose the mechanic or dealer. Best of all, there's coverage for every wallet size. Make the smart call before it's too late. Call CarShield today.
If you're working full-time, you could earn your degree online at South University. And classes are available at many South University campus locations as well as online. Call now to speak with an admissions rep.
Call 1-800-206-8133.
And nurses, you could earn your RN to BSN degree online at South University. Whether you're looking to earn your associate degree in medical assisting or your RN to BSN degree, you can do it at South University.
Call 1-800-206-8133. 1-800-206-8133.
If you're on supplemental oxygen, heavy and awkward tanks are a burden. Now you can leave home and leave the tanks behind with Inogen One, the portable oxygen concentrator you can take almost anywhere.
Just press the button here, and there's my oxygen.
I could play golf again.
New video showing the devastation left behind from the deadliest wildfires in Chile's history. At least 64 are dead, and the country is under a state of emergency. At last check, 106,000 acres have burned. For context, that is larger than the entire landmass of Seattle. Over 90 fires are currently burning, and the causes are unclear right now, but police say they have detained one person in connection to those fires. The U.S. says it has carried out a new strike against Iran-backed Houthi rebels in Yemen, this time destroying an anti-ship cruise missile that was, quote, prepared to launch. Meanwhile, U.S. military leaders are still assessing the damage from U.S. military strikes carried out in Iraq and Syria on Friday. The U.S. said those were retaliation for an attack that killed 3 American soldiers in Jordan a week ago. An update now on a dramatic dog napping case out of L.A. from last week. A woman tried to rescue her French bulldog by jumping on the hood of the suspect's car. Now that driver is in jail. 21-year-old Sadie Slater is charged with robbery and is being held on $70,000 bail. Police are still looking for her accomplice, and the kidnapped dog named Onyx is still missing. Let's take a live look now outside at Port Angeles. You can see, the sunset is starting. We can see some golden shores. And Frankie, we definitely had a lot of beautiful sunshine today here in Seattle, really everywhere.
It has just been, I think a lot of us are drinking extra caffeine because the gloom makes you feel a little tired. It makes you feel sleepy. I think it messes up our circadian rhythms. Sunshine, I'm not going to complain about it. This is another dose of some sunset views for you. This is coming out of Hansville, Skunk Bay. Gorgeous gorgeous right there. Taking a look at some of the high temperatures we had today, not bad. I mean, we trended in some places a degree to maybe 2 degrees above average. 50 degrees for Seattle, 48 around the South Sound, 50s across the coast. I mean, really, it stayed consistent across western Washington. Now, taking it to the SeaTac Airport as the sun sets, we are sitting now at about 47 degrees. We do have a northerly wind moving at about 16 miles per hour. Not bad, though, but moving at about 16 miles per hour. High temperatures, though, still falling in line with where we'd like to be for this time of year, so everything's kind of checking out. Something to maybe encourage you as we head into a bit of a wet and drizzly pattern on and off this week is that we are slowly creeping to closer to a 6 o'clock sunset. So we finally got our first 5 o'clock sunset last month in January. We'll hit a 5:30 sunset between about February 11th, February 18th, and then we're getting closer and closer by the end of February. So February into March, we have a 6 p.m. sunset coming on March 5th. We've got 44 days until we get our season change into spring. And the good news is we continue to trend with our average high temperature somewhere between 50 degrees for this month and next. So 50 degrees is kind of the average for Seattle for February, 54 degrees for March. So not a huge difference, but, you know, splitting hairs. Now that I've buttered you up, though, with all the sunshine and great, wonderful things that we can expect in the next month or two, we do have to talk about some of that wet and drizzly weather that is on the way. We're getting some of the kick up, I don't know, I guess the kind of the background or the extra from what's happening in Southern California. It's kind of getting kicked up our way, sprayed our way. It's going to be coming over the next couple of hours. We'll get it late tonight into early tomorrow morning, starting up from the south, but very, very light. I would just want to emphasize that. Very light rain all around, looking to get maybe a few hundredths of an inch for many locations, and then barely touching into about a tenth of an inch by the end of day tomorrow. As we look ahead at our pinpoint 7-day forecast, again, I just want to reiterate that even though we do have some wet and drizzly weather in the forecast, there should be enough sunshine to kind of help carry you through some of the drizzly weather that we have kind of tucked in between the week.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness. Now, we do know that in the Pacific Northwest, winters can be mentally tough. I mean, we did go through that stretch just this last week. We go days without seeing the sun, and the shorter days combined with less sunlight really can add up to seasonal affective disorder, also known as SAD. Now, millions of Americans are believed to be suffering from seasonal affective disorder. I got to speak with a mental health counselor who says that women are the most susceptible, though, to this diagnosis.
We do know women are 2 to 4 times more likely to be diagnosed with seasonal affective disorder.
Research suggests fluctuations in estrogen can also affect mood balancing serotonin levels. Mental health counselor Wendy Knowles says,
I truly, for me, I believe it's a combination of factors. I believe there are some pieces in there, certainly for women with hormone fluctuations, that we can react a bit more strongly when we do deal with something like seasonal affective disorder. I also think that men are much less likely to report and seek help when it affects them.
Deficiencies in diets could also be a culprit for women and men. According to a diet and nutrition specialist with UW Medicine, people in the Pacific Northwest are more susceptible of a vitamin D deficiency. One of the advanced symptoms of this deficiency is depression, and medical experts say that underlying mental health conditions can open the door for another.
You can be more predisposed to getting seasonal affective disorder if you have one of these underlying conditions, but you can also have no known underlying conditions and get seasonal affective disorder.
UW Medicine diet and nutrition specialist Morgan Hoynatsky says that some foods can help with wintertime deficiencies like salmon, tuna, some dairy products, and eggs. But before reaching for something like a vitamin D supplement,
yes, our vitamin D levels can lower simply from the lack of sunlight. Absolutely. The jury is still out, though, as to whether vitamin D can really help resolve the symptoms. It will raise your vitamin D levels, which is better for your body, but you may not actually see symptom relief.
Yeah, I'm absolutely guilty of when somebody says, oh, you know, you don't have vitamin D. I run to the store and I'm like, well, I just need a vitamin D pill. But that is not the fix. In fact, the experts are saying that the best way to fight the seasonal affective disorder is cognitive behavioral therapy. So essentially what that means is instead of taking a nap when you feel that urge, do the opposite of that. So whatever your SAD-related urge would be, do the opposite. So instead of taking a nap, go for a walk.
At least even when it's gray, it's more light than you would get from inside.
From inside, exactly. Or maybe if you're feeling like you want to isolate, make it a point to maybe call a friend, even just on the phone. So that's my advice for you to hopefully kind of get you through those last little bits of some of that gloom we have lingering still ahead.
It is good advice, and thankful for these breaks of sunshine too.
Yes.
Thanks, Frankie. And still ahead, rescued. How this dog managed to spend days accidentally trapped in shipping. We'll show you how ship workers found her. But first, how much money should you have in your savings? Financial experts share the answer next.
Did you grow everything you ate today? If you're like most of us, probably not. We're not all farmers, but we sure are lucky to live in a state where our farmers take growing food seriously. From organic to conventional, big and small, Washington farmers think of you every day they grow your food. Don't miss the newest season of Washington Grown to learn more about the food you eat and the farmers who grow it.
Cars will break down, and when they do,